guys, Jackie here, and this is the hopefully final video in the Google Sites class that you have been taking, and hopefully you found this class to be beneficial and given you an opportunity to get your site up and running. So I just have a couple of pieces of Googly stuff to share with you on Google Sites. So we've kind of edited our site. We've talked about different types of content. We've had some time to create and add content. So the last pieces that I want to talk about are kind of like the bonus features and then actually physically publishing your site. So Google Sites is unique because it allows you to have collaborators on your site using the Google sharing platform, which I think is an amazing asset. So you can share a site with coworkers and you can all be adding and editing together on the same site. You could share a site with students. I know Courtney Faye was interested in using it for the newspaper at the high school, and the students can be collaborators and editors on the site. They can add their own news stories, and then Courtney can make it so that she's the only one that can actually publish it, make it go live, but that way she's not always having to go in and grab the student's work from a shared folder and put it onto the site and so forth. Julie Feige is using it over at Northwood as a collaborative space for social studies for K-6, and they're creating a platform that's putting all of their social studies resources that they found when they don't have textbooks in one place, kind of pointing to the SharePoint resources for the K-4 and then to manage back for all of the other curriculum resources. Those are just a couple of ways you could use it. You could also have students add pages to a site where you cover everything. You know, each student is responsible for reteaching or displaying the knowledge of a particular unit throughout the school year, and then you have a whole website that has all your units that were curated by students. And additionally, students can create their own Google Sites, which is another awesome website making tool that's not stepping outside of their district accounts. It's it's with including their district account, so it's not another tool. It's embedded within the Google Suite where they can create their own websites or do it in small groups for a project in the classroom. So that's another great tool. So to add editors, you click on the person with the plus sign, the universal Google sign, and you get the same sharing permissions that you do with any sort of Google Doc, Google Drive file, whatever. So you can individually invite people by sending them an email to be an editor, or you could do an advanced sharing permission. Anybody with this link can edit the site and so forth. So you can add students here as well. It's anybody in our domain. So just entering their ga.hiltoncsd email address will allow you to add and share and collaborate on a site with someone. So I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel on this because I don't need a collaborator on here for right now. So that's the share permission. I'm pretty sure I covered this already, but it's never a bad idea to cover it twice. At any point, you can hit preview and you can see what your live site is going to look like. So when I click on preview, it's going to take away all of my editing pains and it's going to take me to what my live site's going to look like. Give me an opportunity to make sure that everything looks right based on the device. You can see here, handheld device, smaller tablet screen, full computer screen resolutions, and just see how your site is going to adjust for those individual screens. Which is a great feature. So at any point, you can preview how it's going to look, make sure that things fit, that it flows, and when you're done previewing, you just click on the X here. My site's still loading, so I'm just waiting for it to wrap up, but at any point, you just click on this X, and you'll be exiting the preview, and it'll take you back to the editor mode, and you'll get your editing panes again. I love how I keep using two hands, but there's nothing on this side. So over here, you'll get your editing pane again. So it's the preview mode, and so then once you are ready to publish your site, you're ready to make it go live, you click on this blue publish button, the big button on the top of the thing that says publish. You're like, yeah, obviously, Jackie, we figured that out. Your site location will always be sites.google.com/ga.hiltoncsd.net/ and then whatever you want to call your site. So I called mine J Gilmore just so that, K Gilmore and T Gilmore can have a site and they can all be unique. But you could call it anything you wanted, Ms. Gilmore's class, stats, whatever you wanted to do that's unique. And it'll tell you when you type it in over here. I already know that this is available, but I'll get a little happy check mark over here, and it'll be like, yep, you can use that, and it'll allow me to publish my site. And then I have the options, who can view my site? Anybody at Hilton with the email ga.hiltoncsd.net or anyone on the web. If you're planning on using this as a portal to have parents be able to see classroom things, then you would obviously want to select anyone on the web instead of just anyone at ga.hiltoncsd.net. And then you also have the ability to allow it to appear in a search result, which would be like if somebody were to Google Miss Gilmore Hilton Central Schools, my site would come up. I'm going to keep these settings this way, and I'm just going to click publish. So that's how you publish your site. And then once you have a published site, you can get some site analytics from the 3 dots up here, Orion's belt. You can get site analytics right here using some cool Google tools. It'll tell you how many people have viewed your site and so forth. If you click on the little drop down next to publish, at any point you can unpublish it, and you can also do publish settings. And you can jump into your view publish site. So, if you click publish settings, it'll take you back to what you selected. So you could change any of those settings at any point. So I chose ga.hiltoncsd.net, but maybe I wanted to be public on the web. I just go to the publish settings and I can change that. So here's my live site. And then if I look over here I can click on the pencil and it'll take me back to the editor mode. So now that my site is live, and you can see my address up here, sites.google.com/ga.hiltoncsd.net/jgilmore. That's mine. I own that. That's my site. I can send it out to people. And then I can just go to that and I can edit from there without having to go into sites.google.com and then clicking on my site and clicking on edit. It all works the same. So if you're bookmarking your site, you can go to your site and then you can also edit right from here as well by clicking on edit this page. Down here, this little pencil. I think I talked about this, but then I also think I forgot to talk about it. When you're sharing your site, you have this owner settings, so you can prevent editors from being able to publish or changing the sharing permissions and the access settings. That might be a good tool for you to use if you're using a site with students that, students are able to add content to the website, but it has to be approved with you to be published first. And that's a setting that you get as an owner here. So I think I've covered all of the pieces that I wanted to cover in terms of adding content to your Google site. There's all kinds of great things that you can do, and I'm really excited to see which direction you guys are going to be taking it. And I'm hoping that this class was helpful and that you are excited to use Google Sites. So please let me know how it goes.